Headlights slice through a moonless night. Elbows out, ready for the clash. Every twist, every turn, adrenaline flash. In the dirt where legends are made, speed and danger never fade. Racing hearts in the leagues of steel, velocity keeps it real. In the dirt where legends are made, speed and danger never fade. Racing hearts in the leagues of steel, velocity keeps it real. Don't look back. Don't look back. Spectators scream as the racers align. A dance with danger on a thin white line. High octane in the veins, rush of thrill. Competing with fate, chasing that mill. Pretty warriors that think of the grind. Fierce and focused, always one of a kind. Victory tastes sweeter under the lights. Velocity racing, fueled by the fright. In the dirt where legends are made, speed and danger never fade. Racing hearts in the leagues of steel, velocity keeps it real. In the dirt where legends are made, speed and danger never fade. Racing hearts in the leagues of steel, velocity keeps it real.
Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in as we get ready to rock and roll here this afternoon with the Velocity Racing League. Here from the beautiful Eldora Speedway, these drivers are ready to go to battle. Now there is some money on the line, there's some bragging rights, and there's a championship here this afternoon as our season finale with the Velocity Racing League commences here this evening. Drivers jumping out onto the racetrack, they are looking to lay down their quickest lap times, hoping to try to put themselves into that pole position to start their night off on the right foot here at the beautiful Eldora Speedway. As right now it's Craig Wheeler who's going to jump up with the quick time down into the 14th second bracket. Josiah Johnson into position number 2 out there on the racetrack as you do see the HRE Majula Speed Shop ride pulled down to the inside of the back straightaway. Stephen Hart now up into position number 4. Kyle Brennan up into that 5th position. Dees Price now into position number 7 out there on the speedway as the Premier Racing Setups number 117 ride just inside our top 10 as he's going to jump back up into 7th. Brett Welsh there in position number 10 is jumping up into position number 2. It's Ethan Johnson. Johnson in the Conkey Floyd Consulting number 11 ride will jump into 2nd as Diesel Jones in the 46 ride. That Speed Ranch Carolina Sim Sports number 46 slides into position number 4. Aaron Bowman, the showman, out there on the racetrack, the Star Race Cars only wraps in number 44 ride. He jumps up into the 15th spot as here comes the Peakinator Tanner Peak out there on the racetrack. Peak with a fairly decent lap time, puts himself up into the 13th position. He's going to slide back one spot right there. Is Advin Channel going to jump up in front of him? Channel now into position number 11, but Tanner Peak finds a little extra speed there on lap number 2, and he jumps inside the top 10, now into 7th. But we get a quick time out there on the racetrack. One of our championship contenders here this afternoon, it's Connor New, who will jump up to the top of the speed charts. Connor New now with the quickest lap time here in qualifying. Ryder English into position number 12. We still got a few drivers still out there rolling on the racetrack. That is the 121 rider Danny Miles that we see out there. There's Colton Jordan, another one of our championship hopefuls here this afternoon in that Carolina Sim Sports Majula Speed Shop number 8 ride there on the racetrack. As we see Jonathan Smith, he's looking to lay down his lap time. Unfortunately, qualifying going to come to a close here on this 30-car feature event. 30 cars loaded into the sim here this afternoon, each and every single one of them looking for the win here this evening, and they're about to get ready for the first step in that drive as we'll jump into our heat race. Top 3 drivers Top 3 competitors from each heat race will work their way into our A main feature event. Everybody else will go to our consolation races, and that is a place you do not want to be. You do not want to risk your opportunity to race for a good paycheck here this afternoon. And you don't want to have to risk potentially not being a part of the show at all out there on the racetrack. You want to be in this A main. You want to be a part of the feature event as all these drivers loaded up down on pit lane. They're going to get ready to start rolling out onto the racetrack. Is starting on the pole in the Eldora Speed Shop. Number 10 machine, it is Connor New. Quickest in qualifying, he'll snag that top spot here for heat race number 1. To his outside in the Cocky Floyd Consulting, number 111 is Evan Channel. They're in position number 2, and then we see Kyle Brennan and the 913 of Tanner Peak. They're in the 3rd and 4th position. Danny Miles in the 21 ride will start here in position number 5. To his outside in the 23. That is Jaden Rager, as Rager will start there in position number 6. Starting in position number 7 in the 20 ride, it is the Premier Racing Setups machine. That is the 20W of Justin White, and his outside in the Premier Racing Setups, number 90, it is Daryl Bass. So 8 drivers getting ready to duke it out. 3 transfer spots up for grabs here this afternoon. Who will find their way into the A main first here this afternoon is Connor New and Evan Channel down at a quarter number 4. We'll see that first green flag fly here this afternoon. So quickly, it is the 10 of Connor New who will lead us down through quarter 1 and 2. A little contact back there behind him as here comes the Peakinator, Tanner Peak, in that bush light. Star Race Wraps and number 913 machine. He's right down low trying to take a peek underneath of Connor New, as New trying to hold on to the top spot, but Tanner Peak and Evan Channel both right there trying to hunt him down. They know they're currently on the hot seat. They're in that 2nd and 3rd position, and they know there's a lot of hungry drivers back here behind them wanting to jump up and knock them out of one of these transfer spots on the speedway. Danny Miles there in position number 4 with Kyle Brennan back in 5th. They both see Tanner Peak right there in front of them looking for a big run down through 3 and 4. They go door to door, then up into the fence goes the 21. Danny Miles, hard contact there into the outside wall. He'll have to take that car down pit side. Heavy right front damage, and that will take him out of heat race number 1. And now a bit of a gap starting to grow here after that contact between Tanner Peak and the 39 rider Kyle Brennan, as Brennan sees that 3rd and final transfer spot getting smaller and smaller out of his front windshield, seeing his opportunity to punch his ticket into the A main feature event starting to slip away. Is my boy Justin Young. Justin says, let's go, baby, let's go. Justin coming in, showing the big love here in this one. Coming in, showing the love over there on YouTube is Justin White, still on the outside looking in here. There is Jaden Rager. Rager back there in position number 6 with Daryl Bass there in 7, trying to get that Premier Racing Setups number 90 ride. Pinned and working his way back up into the fight here, trying to battle for that 3rd and final transfer spot here in heat race number 1. It's Connor New continues to lead the way. New continuing to show these drivers how to get it done here around Eldora Speedway. We see that outside lane fairly burnt off as of right now, but these drivers, they're rolling that middle and bottom groove, trying to get it worked in, trying to figure something out down there on that bottom side. But we'll have to wait and see if that outside lane will come back here in this feature event. As Evan Channel there in 2nd, Tanner Peak sitting solidly in position number 3 as the white flag is displayed. One more time around here for Connor New, is New down the back straightaway for the final time here in heat race number 1. Connor New down through 3 and out of 4. It's all Connor New. How do you do here this afternoon as he picks up heat race win number 1 on the afternoon? Evan Channel there in 2nd, and Tanner Peak there in position number 3. Unfortunately, Brennan, White, Ranger, Bass, and Miles will all go to our consolation races, as only 3 drivers will work their way into our A main feature event. As Mr. Bowman says, sup Aaron, what's up Aaron, how are you? Mr. Bowman coming in, showing the love here in this one with that share on the broadcast. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't already, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that follow button, hit the subscribe, share, hit all the buttons, but make sure you drop a couple comments. Make sure you hit that like button and help us out as Kevin Walker becoming a brand new subscriber over there on the YouTube stream. Kevin, welcome to the Peacemaker family. Welcome to the Peacemaker crew, coming in, becoming a brand new subscriber over there on the YouTube channel. As we're going to get ready here, heat race number 2 loaded into the sim. Each and every one of them looking for the win as they get rolling down onto the back straightaway. As the EJR machine of the 31, Robbie Bakkanen, he will start here in the top spot. To his outside, that is Riley Knoll. Starting in position number 3 in the beautiful number 110 ride, that is Chase Copeland. Dees Price to his outside. Colton Jordan, Joshua Colburn, Kevin Walker, and Jonathan Smith bringing up the rear of the field here in heat race number 2. As quickly, heat race number 2 underway, and it's Robbie Bakkanen Jr. who will jump up, take that race lead, and lead us down into corner number 3. He's looking to lead lap number 1 here in heat race number 2. Is down across the line. Mission accomplished there on the first lap for Robbie Bakkanen Jr. But look out, Riley Knoll in the 07 ride making the move and went for a slide jump. Unfortunately, could not get the run that he was looking for off of corner number 2. That'll slide him back into that second spot here on the racetrack. Is out in front. Robbie Bakkanen Jr. going to continue to lead the way. So Robbie Bakkanen Jr. out in front. Chase Copeland back there in position number 3, battling door to door here with Colton Jordan. Colton Jordan, one of those drivers battling for the championship here this afternoon. It's him and Ethan Johnson, the only 2 drivers mathematically that could win this championship. And right now, I do believe by my calculations, it's a very tall task. He needs to have a great night, and he needs to have Ethan Johnson have a fairly mediocre to bad night for him to even have an opportunity to sniff at that championship. Is out in front. The battle continuing to intense for that top spot on the racetrack. Riley Knoll to the outside of the 31 right. Robbie Bakkanen Jr. trying to go door to door with that East Coast Sim Sports Majula St. Speed Shop 07 ride. Colton Jordan is going to be able to slide up and around Chase Copeland. Copeland will slide back into position number 4 as once again top 3 will work their way into the show. Unfortunately, everybody else will go to our consolation races here this afternoon. We did see Joshua Colburn take his car down pit road and off the racetrack here as Riley Knoll is going to lead the way here. Riley Knoll out in front as Robbie Bakkanen Jr. slides back into position number 2. Colton Jordan there in third with Chase Copeland into position number 4. Copeland able to hold off the hard-charging number 117 right at Dees Price's Price right there in position number 5. Continuing to look to try to move that Elite Sim Sports 117 right, the Premier Racing Setups machine back there in position number 5. Still a couple spots outside of a transfer spot as the white flag has been displayed. So Riley Knoll out in front looking for heat race win number 2. The battle for that third and final transfer spot heating up is down low. Here comes Chase Copeland. Copeland looking for that third spot. It'll be a drag race back there for third as Riley Knoll picks up heat race win number 2 on the afternoon. Robbie Bakkanen Jr. and Chase Copeland will take that third and final transfer spot, meaning Colton Jordan, Dees Price, Kevin Walker, Jonathan Smith, and Joshua Colburn will all go to our consolation races here this afternoon. As we'll get them stacked up, racked up, and ready to go, heat race number 3 is about to get underway. Heat race number 3 gonna get loaded into the sim, each and every one of them looking for the win as Brian Bowman. Brian coming in, showing the big love here with the like and the share on the broadcast. I appreciate that, Brian, coming in, showing the love here in this one as we'll get these drivers ready to rock and roll as Kevin Walker says, what's up, guys? Good luck. Go get him, son. Cheering on his son, Mr. Walker, out there on the racetrack. Unfortunately, not the heat race he was hoping for right there, but nonetheless, we're going to get ready to battle here again. Heat race number 3 loaded into the sim down on pit road, and we'll get ready to go through our starting order. Starting on the pole in the JNC Properties number 2 machine, that is Cray Wheeler. To his outside in the HRE Majula St. Speed Shop 5B ride, that is Josiah Johnson, starting in position number 3 in the number Not sure which number this actually is. Here is the Majula State Speed Shop ride, the East Coast Sim Sports machine, the 7H machine of Stephen Hart. To his outside will be that 44. That is the Bloomquist Race Cars, the Star Race Cars, the Star Performance, Aaron Bowman Racing Ride, the 44. Aaron Bowman, the showman, there in that 4th position. Starting in position number 5 in the number 69 ride, that is another Majula St. Speed Shop machine. That is Connor Johnson, and to his outside in the 07, that is Tyler Brickford. Unfortunately, no Ryan Banzler, no Jaden Donovan, 2 admins in the race. They will sit out here as they'll be able to make the calls from up in the admin booth. As out in front, heat race number 3 quickly underway, and we do see that Craig Wheeler is putting on a great show already in this one. He's out in front, but he's in that good anchor number 11 paint scheme here this afternoon in that Spartan Transportation number 11 ride, the Yeti machine at the front of the field. So a different paint scheme here for Craig Wheeler this afternoon as he rolls at the front of the field. And now here comes that number 69 ride. Connor Johnson and Tyler Brickford. Look out, contact. Josiah Johnson, Aaron Bowman come together. Heavy damage there for the 5B. Heavy damage here. You see that car all tore up. He's going to keep it rolling, though. Unfortunately, he's going to fall about half a track back here in heat race number 3 this afternoon. As Craig Wheeler continues to lead the way, almost half a second lead here between himself and Connor Johnson. As Johnson there in position number 2. Stephen Hart now back around Tyler Brickford for that 3rd spot on the racetrack. And Stephen Hart not done yet. Going to go for another slide job over the 69 ride. They're going to battle door to door here, looking for a big run out of Connor Johnson down into that 2nd spot here once again out of corner number 4. So Stephen Hart in that 3rd and final transfer position. Brickford and Bowman back there in 4th and 5th. A little bit of damage there for the 44 ride of Aaron Bowman, the showman, as well as Josiah Johnson back here in that 6th position. Let's take a look back and see what happens here. To this 5 ride is a little contact here. They were beating and banging, battling, opening of this race, and unfortunately 3 wide down into corner number 1. Things just do not work out as the 44 ride of Aaron Bowman ends up getting in a little too low, gets a bad arc into the corner, and he's going to tag that inside fence. Watch that car on the very left-hand side. Bam! Right there into that inside wall, up the racetrack, into the 5B ride. Pretty good contact, heavy damage there for both drivers, and unfortunately that puts Johnson way back here in position number 6. Aaron Bowman, he's trying to keep that car pointing in the right direction now, hoping that the damage does not affect him, as he knows he's still right here in the hunt for a transfer spot this afternoon. As the white flag has been displayed out in front, 1.5 seconds now for Craig Wheeler, as Wheeler leads the way here this afternoon. Connor Johnson back there in 2nd. Brickford and the 7H of Stephen Hart door to door. You see Hart washing them up the racetrack. They both get into the outside fence, but it's Stephen Hart in that 3rd in final transfer position. So Craig Wheeler, Connor Johnson, and Stephen Hart will punch their tickets into the show as Brickford, Bowman, Josiah Johnson, and we'll all load up their rides, and they will go to our consolation race here this afternoon. Some of these drivers, their crews, are going to have to go to work. They're going to have to do some quick repairs here, trying to get these cars fixed back up and back out there onto the racetrack, as we'll get ready to go to battle here. Once again, heat race number 4 about to get underway. So heat race number 4 about to get to battle in here this afternoon is out in front. Going to lead the way here in this one. It's another Johnson out there on the racetrack. This time it is the number 11 rider, Ethan Johnson. Ethan Johnson will start in the top spot as the Gage Stevens Designs, I do believe that's what that says, the Gage Stevens Designs, Conkey Floyd Consulting, Dirty South Speed Shop, number 11 ride of Ethan Johnson will start here in position number 1. He'll get ready to rock and roll. He'll drive out there onto the racetrack, and he'll get ready to try to pick up heat race win number 4 here this afternoon. Starting in position number 2 on the racetrack, it's the 46 ride. That is Diesel Jones, as it does look like they're going to be giving Ethan Johnson an EOL here this afternoon. So Johnson will go to the back of the pack here in that number 11 machine. So he'll start back in the 7th position, going to move Ryder English in the wall. Ryder Photography, Majula St. Speed Shop, number 72, right up into the top spot. Jones to his outside with the 22 of Chase White. Brett Walsh, the 3 right of Caleb York. Ethan Johnson and Justin Byram bringing up the rear of the field. It's unfortunately for the 19, not the start he was hoping for. Quickly slides back into that 7th position. Ethan Johnson on the lap pedal. He's looking to try to work his way back up towards the front of the field here after taking that EOL to start this heat race. He's looking to try to battle his way to the front of the pack. Is out in front. It is the 46. That is Diesel Jones, as Johnson wants hard charger. Laugh out loud. He wants the hard charger. All right. Hey, you know what? Sometimes you just gotta know if you got the ability to do it, if you got the opportunity to seize that momentum and try to put yourself into that position, then you gotta take it. You gotta take it. And right there, you do see Ethan Johnson taking the risk here. He's moving himself outside of a transfer spot and all the way back into that 7th position for this heat race. Now hoping that he can jump up here and find a way inside the top 3 here this afternoon. As Diesel Jones in the top spot, he is still out in front with Brett Walsh there in that 2nd position. Ryder English there in 3rd, as Ryder going to look to cross over that 52 right as they battle door to door here for position number 2 on the Speedway. You do see Ethan Johnson now up into position number 4. So Johnson moves into that 4th spot now on the racetrack, as that'll put that Premier Racing Setups rocket chassis number 22 of Chase White back there behind him. Here comes that Majula St. Speed Shop number 19 of Justin Byram, and the 3 ride, the Premier Racing Setups machine, the 180 Flood Drive number 3 of Caleb York up into the outside fence. He'll take his car down pit road. Is out in front. Diesel Jones running away with this one, starting to stretch out that race lead. Almost a second now between himself and Brett Walsh, as Walsh back here in that 2nd spot has Ryder English there in position number 3. Ethan Johnson there in 4th as Chase White and Justin Byram. Caleb York round out our field here in heat race number 4 this afternoon. Is this racetrack shaping up to be a good one? Definitely going to be a couple different racing lines. The outside lane starting to get a little bit of marbles up there. Drivers may try to roll that outside groove again if they continue to see that dust and dirt continue to get piled up there on the outside lane. But right now, it's looking like it's building a pretty good berm there and making this a bottom side racetrack as the white flag has been displayed. So for the final time, down through quarter number 3 and out at quarter number 4, it's Diesel Jones who will pick up heat race win number 4 here this afternoon. Brett Welsh there in position number 2 with Ryder English in that 3rd and final transfer spot, meaning Ethan Johnson, Chase White, Justin Byram, and Caleb York will all go to our consolation races. As we'll get ready here for our consies right now, drivers will get loaded into the sim. We're going to run a C main and a B main. 15 laps each. Top 3 will work their way into our A main feature event. So top 3 drivers will punch their ticket into the show here this afternoon. Who is going to get it done? Who will join us here for our A main feature event? We got 9 drivers loading into the sim, looking for the win here in our C main consolation race. They're going to get loaded up down on pit road, and a good break here for all these drivers. At least one of the cars in this field will not be racing in this consolation race. It is the 32 of Jaden Donovan. Donovan is one of our admins. He has to be up there in the admin booth, but has to have control of these drivers. As actually, maybe not. Maybe I lied. Maybe Jaden's gonna jump out there. I didn't think he was going to, but there's that dirt trap. Majula St. Speed Shop, Fansler Graphics 32. He is gonna load in, and he's gonna look to run here this afternoon. As we'll get these drivers stacked up, racked up, ready to go. There goes our pace truck as the 39 right of Kyle Brennan. He's going to get into his position here as out in front. It's going to be the number 20 right of Justin White. White will start here in the top spot with Tyler Breakford there in position number 2. The 23 of Jaden Rieger will start there in the 3rd spot with the 44 of Aaron Bowman, the showman, there in the 4th spot. Then we see the 90 of Darrell Bass, Josiah Johnson, Danny Miles, Jaden Donovan, and Kyle Brennan bringing up the rear of the field. Already some contact there. Darrell Daryl Bass in the number 90 ride, going for a loop-de-loop right there. Contact between him and Jaden Donovan down through quarter number 1 and 2. Opening lap contact here, unfortunately, for the Premier Racing Setups ride. He's going to get that contact. He's going to go around. And that Tommy Gun Customs paint scheme, unfortunately, getting pretty marked up here now in a tough spot. Hoping to see a caution flag before the end of this consolation race. Is out in front, it is Tyler Brickford. Brickford looking to try to hold off Josiah Johnson. Is Johnson looking to try to work his way into our A-main feature event. Is this the last chance dance for each and every one of these drivers? They know they have to be inside the top 3 or they will be one of 6 drivers to not make it into this A-main here this afternoon. So Johnson, Brickford, Aaron Bowman, now our top 3 is Bowman the showman, door to door right there with Jaden Rieger. Rieger working that inside lane, will slide up across the nose of that 44 right as we see our first caution flag of the day fly. So our first yellow flag, and it looks like Danny Miles in the 21 right going to run into some issues here. We'll take a look at the Jules C. Speed Shop number 21 ride is low. Looks like a little contact here, and unfortunately loses the front end, launches up into the outside fence. Heavy damage there for that 21 machine. Tries to get that car down pit road. Unfortunately already past pit road entry for him and Justin White. Pretty good contact, and both drivers have to take their cars down pit side. So we'll get them all stacked back together. We'll get everyone ready to go back to battle here in this one. A lucky break there for the 90 ride of Daryl Bass, as Bass will rejoin the rear of the field here. Now find himself in that 7th position. There's the driver right in front of him that made the initial contact there to help spin that 90 ride around the 32 of Jaden Donovan. Is Donovan back in that 6th spot on the speedway? Each and every one of these drivers, they're feeling the intensity. They're feeling the pressure right now. Every single second that we stay out here on the racetrack, especially not during the green flag conditions, nothing but constant things running through your mind about what you have to do, what you can't do, and what may go wrong here in this consolation race. They know they have to be inside the top 3 to keep their dreams alive here this afternoon as we see the green flag fly once again for Josiah Johnson. As Johnson gets that green flag, he quickly jumps back out in front, clears that 07 of Tyler Brickford. Brickford now trying to hold on to that 2nd spot as here comes the ABR Star Race Cars number 44 of Aaron Bowman. Bowman working down low, looking to try to work himself into that 2nd spot on the racetrack as he knows he's on the hot seat right now. Currently sits in that 3rd and final transfer spot, but a lot of hungry drivers back here behind him looking to knock him out of this transfer position. The 39 of Kyle Brennan right there in position number 4 with Jaden Donovan back there in 5th. Danny Miles there in 6th, as they're 3 wide back here at the rear of the field. More heavy contact up into the outside fence goes that number 90 of Daryl Bass. Things have gotten worse here for the 90 ride. Definitely did not want to see that happen. Now taking his car down pit road, and unfortunately that will probably take him out of contention here this afternoon. Heavy contact, heavy damage there for the 90 ride. You gotta assume that the 21 of Danny Miles also having some pretty tough luck there with that contact. Has to feel that damage as well here in this one. Is out in front, it's Josiah Johnson. Johnson looking to try to pick up the checkered flag here in our C-main consolation race with Tyler Brickford and Aaron Bowman. Our top 3 all looking to work their way into our A-main feature event. Everyone else back there behind them, unfortunately no longer in a transfer position. They will load up their rides and they will join the fans in the stands here this afternoon. So we'll have to keep an eye on them and see what happens as Aaron Bowman holds down the fort in that 3rd and final transfer spot. Only one more lap left to go here in our C-main. So Josiah Johnson for the final time at a quarter number 2. You see a great run coming from Tyler Brickford as Brickford tries to work underneath of him, trying to take that top spot. He's not going to get there, as out in front and picking up the C-main win, it's Josiah Johnson. Tyler Brickford there in 2nd, and Aaron Bowman in that 3rd and final transfer spot, meaning that Kyle Brennan, Jaden Donovan, Jaden Rieger, Danny Miles, Daryl Bass, and Justin White will load up their rides and join the fans in the stands here this afternoon, as only the top 3 will advance. Everybody else will have to go home early here this evening, as we'll get them all stacked up, ranked up, and ready to go here for our B-Main consolation race. Our B-Main about to get underway, and once again, we're going to have 10 drivers out there on the racetrack, potentially 9, with Ryan Fansler being one of our admins. May not be out there on the racetrack, but it does look like Ryan is going to slide out there onto the speedway. He is going to get some laps in here in that 50 ride and see if he can work his Fansler graphics machine up towards the front of the field, as he will start at the back of the pack here in position number 10. As out in front, starting in the pole position, it is the 8 rider, Colton Jordan. Jordan will start there in position number 1. To his outside is the Cocky Floyd Consulting, number 11 of Ethan Johnson. Starting in position number 3 in the 117 is the Premier Racing Setups ride. That is Dee's Price. To his outside, another Premier car. That is the 22 of Chase White. Kevin Walker will start there in 5th. To his outside will be the 19 of Justin Byram. And then we see Jonathan Smith there in the 86. Will start back in 7th. He'll have the number 3 of Caleb York to his outside. And then bringing up the final row will be Ryan Fansler and Joshua Colburn. But looks like Colburn missing the start here of this race. So unfortunately for Joshua Colburn, not out there on the racetrack. And then we do see Ryan Fansler also taking his car down pit road. So it looks like 8 drivers will see that green flag fly. The 8 of Colton Jordan quickly gets that green flag, quickly jumps onto the loud pedal and looking to try to open up a bit of a lead between himself and Ethan Johnson. And Johnson back there in position number 2. He's got a couple of drivers taking a look down below him here as they're trying to work their way around that 11 ride. Big slide jump, almost contact there as the 24 of Kevin Walker goes for the big slider, almost pulled the trigger and almost made some pretty heavy contact right there with Ethan Johnson. Unfortunately for Kevin Walker, slides back now into position number 5 on the racetrack. It's Colton Jordan out in front. It's Ethan Johnson and Dee's Price now into that 3rd and final transfer spot, as only 3 more drivers will work their way into our A-Main feature event. Unfortunately, everybody else will load up their rides and they will join the fans in the stands here this afternoon. So if you're Chase White, Kevin Walker, Justin Byram, Jonathan Smith, or Caleb York, you gotta be feeling that pressure right now, knowing that your opportunity to strike is starting to run out. You're starting to run out of time to make some moves and to try to put yourself into this show for quite a bit of money on the line here this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I do believe it's about $200-300. I'm not 100% sure exactly what the numbers are, but I do know there is quite a bit of drivers that signed up for this. There is quite a bit of drivers that are ready to try to earn themselves an extra payday here this afternoon. Is not only will the winner earn some cash, but they'll earn themselves a mini door of their iRacing car. So whatever paint scheme they're using or they would like to use, they will actually get a mini door. It's usually about this big, pretty nice, pretty fancy. Really a nice centerpiece that you can put up onto the wall somewhere on the racetrack. As out in front, it is Colton Jordan. Colton continue to lead the way here in this B-Main. Ethan Johnson sitting pretty there in position number 3. It's a bit of a dogfight back here for that 3rd spot, our 3rd and final transfer position, as Chase White has worked himself around Dee's Price. Dee's Price will slide back into that 4th spot on the racetrack. He's currently on the outside of a transfer position looking in. Same with that sweet victory apparel, Majul safe speed jump number 24 ride of Kevin Walker. Justin Byram and Jonathan Smith also on the outside looking in, as Caleb York is looking his 3 ride down pit road. So York is now down and out of this one as well, as Colton Jordan looking very solid here in this consolation race. He continues to stretch out that race lead between himself and Ethan Johnson, as this racetrack shaping up to be a good one here this afternoon. Lots of different lines, lots of different abilities for these drivers to kind of navigate and roll around the racetrack and get ready to play here for this A-Main feature event, as Ethan Johnson there in 2nd, Chase White holding on to that 3rd and final transfer spot. Kevin Walker on the outside looking in here, hoping that he can keep himself in front of Dee's Price, but Price will work himself back around that number 24. As the laps continue to get clicked down, we get closer and closer to our checkered flag here this afternoon. We get closer and closer to seeing who will work their way into our A main feature event as my boy Tristan Sykes coming in. Showing the love. How are you, Tristan? Tristan coming in with that like on the stream. Stephen Hart coming in with that share as well. How are you, fellas? Is out in front. Colton Jordan down the back straightaway. 2-second gap between himself and Ethan Johnson. Chase White there in that third and final transfer spot as Dees Price in the 24. Kevin Walker continue to battle for position number 4. That is a spot that does not matter unless if one of the drivers in front of them runs into an issue, but they're running out of time as out of corner number 4. We'll see the checkered flag fly. It is Colton Jordan who will jump up and take that top spot here in the B main. He will pick up that consolation win with Ethan Johnson and Chase White, both punching their tickets into the show. Dees Price, Walker, and so many other great drivers there outside our top 3 will load up their rides, and they will join the fans in the stands here this afternoon for our A main feature event. Let's take a look here at that B main, see these drivers and where they ended up out there on the racetrack. Is Colton Jordan with the B main win, Ethan Johnson, Chase White there in position number 2 and 3. All 3 of them will work their way into the show here this afternoon. Unfortunately for Dees Price, Kevin Walker, Jonathan Smith, Justin Byram, Caleb York, Ryan Fansler, and Joshua Colburn, their nights will come to an early end here this afternoon. So a tough break for any of those drivers on the outside of a transfer spot looking in, as they will have to try to battle their way in. Unfortunately, they will have to load up their rides and join the fans in the stands here this afternoon as everybody else jumps out onto the racetrack here for a quick warm-up session. So they're jumping out here. They're going to lay down some laps. They're going to work on their race cars, make sure that they can realize and see what this racetrack is doing, where it's going, how it's starting to take form, how it's taking shape out there, and what they need to do to make sure they have the best possible setup in their race cars here this afternoon for this A main feature event. Do you run the outside? Do you roll down low? Where do you go? How do you find the speed? Where do you put yourself to pick up a win this afternoon? As each and every one of these drivers jumps out there for their warm-up session, they're going to make sure their cars are absolutely pristine and ready to rock and roll, as we're going to jump into a quick Peacemaker Gaming warm it up, as we're going to get a quick drink and ready to rock and roll. Here is our A main feature event is about to get underway. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, don't go anywhere, so you do not want to miss this A main feature event in just a few more moments.
Heart-pounding engines roar dust in the air, chasing dreams in the night without a care. Steel beats follow down, gripping that track. Velocity racing, don't look back. Don't look back. Don't look back. Sweat and grease fill the edge of the fight. Headlights slice through a moonless night. Elbows out, ready for the clash. Every twist, every turn, adrenaline flash. In the dirt where legends are made, speed and danger never fade. Racing hearts in the leads of steel, velocity keeps it real. In the dirt where legends are made, speed and danger never fade. Racing hearts in the leads of steel, velocity keeps it real. Don't look back. Don't look back. Spectators scream as the racers align. A dance with danger on a thin white line. High octane in the veins, rush of thrill. Competing with fate, chasing that mill. Gritty warriors that think of the grind. Fierce and focused, always one of a kind. Victory tastes sweeter under the lights. Velocity racing, fueled by the fright. In the dirt where legends are made, speed and danger never fade. Racing hearts in the leagues of steel, velocity keeps it real. Legends are made, speed champions are made. Speed and danger never fade. Racing hearts in the leagues of steel. Velocity keeps it real. Don't look back. Don't look back. Don't look back. Don't look back.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you guys came here for a show. Well, here you go. As our main feature event is about to get underway. 100 laps of racing action here this afternoon from the beautiful Eldora Speedway. It is the Velocity Racing League season finale, plus a little bit of money here this afternoon. So drivers out there on the racetrack not only running for some prizes, running for a championship, they're also running for a potential payday here this afternoon. As they'll get loaded into the sim and they'll get ready to roll out onto the racetrack. We'll go through our starting grid as 18 drivers get ready to duke it out for 100 laps of racing action. Starting on the pole in the number 11 ride, that is Cray Wheeler. Wheeler will start in the top spot to his outside. In the 07, that is Riley Knoll. Starting in position number 3 in the number 111 ride, that is Evan Channel, who will start in that 3rd position. To his outside in the 46, that is Diesel Jones. Starting in position number 5 on the racetrack, it is the number 69 of Connor Johnson. To his outside in the 31, that is Robbie Bockanen Jr. And then we see Tanner Peak, the Peakinator, starting there in 7th. Brett Welsh to his outside in position number 8. Starting in position number 9 in the 7H, that is Stephen Hart. To his outside in the 110, it's Chase Copeland. And then we see Ryder English, Colton Jordan, Josiah Johnson, Ethan Johnson, Tyler Brickford, Chase White, Connor New, and Aaron Bowman bringing up the rear of the field as we end all the anticipation with our feature presentation as we are quickly green flag racing here from Eldora Speedway. 100 laps of racing action here this afternoon. In leading lap number 1 at a 100 is that 07 ride as Riley Knoll continues to march his way to the front here all evening long. He's been picking them off and looking to try to pick up a checkered flag here this afternoon. But it doesn't matter if you lead lap number 1. It doesn't matter if you lead lap number 30 or lap number 70. It only matters who is out in front on that final lap here this afternoon. 100 laps around Eldora Speedway. It is a long time. It is a lot of laps here on the racetrack. So you want to make sure you keep yourself pointed in the right direction. You don't want to burn up your equipment, and you don't want to tear up your race car too early. So you got to be careful, especially if you're one of these drivers deeper in the field. Battling here 2, 3, almost 4 wide out there on the racetrack. You do not want to put yourself into a situation where you can get tore up and put down pit side for an extended period of time trying to get your car repaired. pair. If you go a lap or multiple laps down here at Eldora, it's going to be very, very tough to get those laps back, and your night may be over. Your opportunity to try to cash in on the payday here this afternoon may go out the window. As Riley Knoll continues to lead this pack, he continues to roll the inside lane. We see a lot of drivers down there rolling that bottom group. Other drivers trying to pass the middle side here just ever so slightly, as you do see the 69 ride. That is Connor Johnson. Roll a little bit more of that middle group here, looking for that speed, looking for some momentum here, as the high side in that middle group kind of burned up quite a bit here. That makes the bottom lane very, very intriguing. A lot of grip, a lot of good pay dirt down low, and that's where a lot of drivers are finding some good speed down that bottom side of the racetrack. But right now, that 69 running some great lap times. They're in position number 5 and deeper throughout the field. Other drivers trying to start to mimic what he's doing on the speedway, but he's starting to realize that that cannot have longevity. Rolling through that slick stuff, burning up that right rear tire, unfortunately hurting his chances here this afternoon. It may be a bit of a same game, trying to keep your car under control, trying to keep your car from trying to save that right rear. Has some tire left in this race where if it gets completely slicked off, you can run anywhere on the racetrack, and you can try to make sure you do not have that tire blowout, or making sure that you have a little something left in the tank for a potential late race caution flag. Is already here in this one, nothing but green flag racing. We're already over 10 laps through this feature event. As Stephanie McMillan Bowman coming in, cheering on Mr. Aaron Bowman out there on the racetrack, says let's go APR, the Aaron Bowman Racing Machine, as Aaron started deeper in the field, and right now we do see him back there at the rear of the field. Right there in front of him, Brett Welsh. Welsh unfortunately started way closer to the front of the field here. He's actually down 9 spots already here in this feature event. Now I don't know if that's by design, or if he's thinking potentially try to roll, take it easy on the racetrack, save some tire until later on. Maybe we see that caution flag and an opportunity for him to race his way back up towards the front of the field and maybe have the best car in this race. Colton Jordan back here as well. Colton, one of those drivers battling for a championship here this evening. He finds himself back in that 16th position with Chase Copeland, Chase White right there in front of him. The 72 of Ryder English back here in position number 13 as Josiah Johnson and Connor New. They're in the 11th position as New trying to work his way up and through the field here. Did take a EOL, so started at the back of the pack, and Connor New finds himself down here in the 11th spot on the speedway. Ethan Johnson right there in front of him, rounding our back of the pack here as he will join the top 10 in that 11 right. Already up 6 positions here as a lot of drivers looking for a potential hard charger award here this afternoon as well, where we will give out a little extra money to the driver with the most positions gained here at the end of our main feature event. And right now it is Tyler Brickford. Brickford up 10 positions, started all the way back in 15th. Now finds himself there in position number 5 on the racetrack. So Brickford has been picking him off and working his way towards the front. You just gotta hope that he didn't burn up too much equipment getting there. As he rolls in that 5th position, he sees Diesel Jones out in front with Craig Wheeler there in second. Rightly Knowles slides back to position number 3 as Connor Johnson there in 4th. Brickford, Buchanan Jr., Stephen Hart, Ethan Johnson, Evan Channel, and now Connor New round out our top 10 here on the racetrack as Josiah Johnson and Tanner Peak both fall outside of the top 10 on the racetrack. As Diesel Jones leading the way here, he's got the 11 of Craig Wheeler right there on his back bumper as that Spartan Transportation LLC number 11 ride. The Good Acre number 11 paint scheme here this afternoon, rolling right there in that second spot on the racetrack, looking like one of the Good Acre boys out there on the speedway, trying to mimic what they've done in the past and trying to see if he can put this 11 ride up and into victory lane as Riley Knoll trying to stick right there with him. That Majula Speed Shop 07 ride has been fast all evening long. These are some of the first laps he has not led all afternoon, and now rolling back here in that 3rd position, not letting him run away with it, but not in a spot he would like to be. I'm sure he'd love to stay out in front, but maybe this will help him save a little bit, keep that car under control, not run away with it, but maybe save a little bit of that right rear for later in this race for that 07 ride. As you can see him moving around, trying some different things back here behind these guys as they're The 11 in the 46 of Diesel Jones. They continue to run virtually the same line out here on the Speedway. They are right there in each other's tire tracks. Obviously, the 46 ride can't really decipher where the 11 ride's running, but he is stuck right there in behind him, following right in line with pretty much everything that 46 ride does out there on the racetrack. Is Connor Johnson trying to hunt them all down, looking to try to work his way inside the top 3. Same with Tyler Johnson as Johnson back, or Tyler Breakford, sorry, back here in position number 5, but he's got a little competition. Here comes that Robbie Bokkanen Jr. ride as Robbie right there in position number 6, now looking to work his way back inside the top 5 here on the racetrack. Stephen Hart there in 7. Ethan Johnson continues his march towards the front of the field as he's back in the 8th position. Josiah Johnson right there behind him, and Connor New rounding out our top 10. Connor New back there in that 10th position with Evan Channel now back in 11th. Tanner Peak there in 12th with Ryder English, Chase White, Colton Jordan back there in 15th. Brett Welsh back in position number 16. Chase Copeland and Aaron Bowman bringing up the rear of the field here in this one as 18 drivers duking it out here this afternoon for a big payday here at Eldora Speedway as the battles start become a 4-car fight at the front of the field. The 69 ride has hunted them down in a quick hurry. Here comes Connor Johnson. Connor Johnson looking to the outside, looking to find a groove and looking to take this race lead away from Diesel Jones as we are going to see our first caution flag fly here this afternoon. Looks like the 7H of Stephen Hart going to run into some issues. That car trying to limp its way down pit side here, trying to make that turn and trying to head down pit road. Having a tough break at doing that right now as we're taking a look back and see what happens to this 7H ride as the Majula St. Speed Shop East Coast Sim Sports ride up into the outside fence down the back straightaway. Unfortunately, I think he gets into the fence not once but twice, maybe 3 times right there. So thrice he gets up and into the outside wall, gets stuck there on the racetrack as he's hoping to try to get this car down pit side. Obviously a busted up right front tire here on the 7 machine. We'll take another look at it. We'll see what happens here again. It just gets up to the outside wall. Nowhere to go there for the 5B ride of Josiah Johnson as he gets into his back end and helps him in there a little deeper as there's the 7 into the fence. The 5 having to get checked up. Luckily enough, it doesn't look like any damage there to that 5 ride, but heavy right side damage here for the 7H of Stephen Hardis. He's looking that car down pit side, looking to get it back out there on the racetrack. Here he comes back out there as the crew has went to work. They've gotten that car repaired, and he rejoins the racing surface, and he'll look ready to roll back towards our top 10 here on the racetrack. Is out in front, it's Diesel Jones. Jones leads the way, but he saw what Connor Johnson was doing there. Late in that run, the 69 ride had went from position number 4 up into that 2nd spot, and if the caution flag would have came out 1 lap later, I do believe he would have had that race lead as he found something there in that middle groove. The 69 ride really started to find a lot of extra speed, and he started to put the pressure there on our race leaders and worked himself into that 2nd spot on the racetrack. We'll see if he can stay there now after burning up a little bit of tire there, pushing that 69 ride a little bit early potentially here this afternoon as there's still a lot of laps left to go. As Brian Bowman says, Bowman is sandbagging for the first 75 laps. Hey man, that is not a bad strategy at all. Listen, there's probably a lot of drivers that are thinking the exact same thing. Sandbag a little bit, try to save that equipment, and try to work yourself to the front of the field late in this race. As now you do see that 69 ride going to make that move on the restart and put himself out in front. So we get a new race leader here at Eldora Speedway as it is the ELR season closer here this afternoon, our season finale here in this one, and it's Connor Johnson out in front leading the way. Now you see a few more drivers starting to find that outside groove as the 07 ride of Riley Knoll going to jump back out in front there. 3 wide here at the front of the field. 3 wide is Riley Knoll. Ethan Johnson in the 69 and Connor Johnson battle door to door out there on the racetrack. Looks like Connor is going to slide back into that 3rd spot on the racetrack as there goes Riley Knoll and Ethan Johnson right up and around him. So Johnson and Johnson now in 2nd and 3rd there once again trying to hunt down this 07 as the Majula St. Speed Shop Team CFM Esports, the Smith Smith's Outdoors, number 07 of Riley Knoll at the front of the field, but Ethan Johnson sticking right there onto his back bumper as Connor Johnson slides back into that third spot of the Speedway. Craig Wheeler there in position number 4 with Josiah Johnson now up inside the top 5. Robbie Balkin going to hold on to that 6th position as Connor New there in 7th. Diesel Jones sliding back now into position number 8 on the racetrack, and here comes Ryder English. Here comes Tyler Brinkford and Evan Channel, both looking to try to get around that number. Oh no, contact! Diesel Jones and Tyler Brinkford getting together right there. We were just staring at him, and unfortunately, Diesel Jones contact here. Looks like Tyler Brinkford with that big run down into corner number 3. Going to get a piece of this Carolina Sim Sports number 46. Let's take a look at it right here. And there's the contact. Just drives in there a lot faster than what the 46 right at Diesel Jones was hoping to go here. And unfortunately, they're going to make some pretty heavy contact right here. Watch that 07 right there. Just gets underneath, jacks him up, scoops up that rear end. No rear traction for the 46 right. He's going to go right around. As here comes that 22 hard underneath of the 07. Is unfortunately heavy contact right there for not only Diesel Jones, but very heavy contact there for the 07 of Tyler Brinkford. Is Brinkford getting bricked up right there? That's a tough hit right there for him, and a tough hit for the 22 ride of, I'm not sure if that's Chase White. I'm not sure who's in that 22 ride. Yeah, some contact. 22 slams in there. Unfortunately, heavy front end damage, rear end damage for the 22 and that 07. Both drivers probably going to take their cars down pit side. As you do see Tyler Brinkford down on pit road instantly as soon as that happened, trying to get that car repaired and back out there onto the racetrack and ready to rock and roll here once again. Unfortunately for Diesel Jones, he'll now find himself back in that 16th position. Tyler Brinkford there in 17th, and there's the other Premier Racing Setups number 22 ride. It is the 180 Flood Drive Premier Racing Setups 22 of Chase White, who ended up getting collected there in that wreck. So a heartbreaker there for him as he'll slide even farther back, now having to use up some of those repairs and getting that car back to one piece, trying to avoid anything here again this afternoon may be detrimental to each and every one of those drivers that just potentially had to use those quick repairs and getting their cars back out there onto the racetrack. So we still have 18 drivers out here on the Speedway, 18 drivers still on the lead lap as we go back to Green Flag Racing here at Eldora Speedway. The 07 of Riley Knoll looking to hold on to the race lead, but the middle crew paying dividends here for the 11 of Ethan Johnson. Johnson looking for that race lead down through corner number 3 and out at corner number 4. He'll jump out in front and will get a new race leader here at Eldora Speedway. As the 11 ride of Craig Wheeler going to stick right there behind the other 11 ride of Ethan Johnson. Now you see that 31 machine of Robbie Balkin Jr. He started to poke his nose up there as he'll slide around that 07 ride and into that 3rd position on the racetrack. So the 31 started to work his way through the top 5 and now puts himself into what would be a podium position here on the racetrack. But there is still a ton of laps left to go here. Only 40 laps into this race, still 60 laps of racing action here this afternoon as Connor Johnson right there in position number 5. You do see the 72, a Ryder English now into position number 6 here on the Speedway. The Tech 3, Majula Speed Shop, the number 10 of Connor New, back here in 7th with Josiah Johnson. Evan Channel and Brent Walsh back there behind him in that 52 machine, rounding out our top 10 on the racetrack. Colton Jordan there in 11th with Tanner Peak, the Peakinator, back here in the 12th spot with Stephen Hart. The 46 of Diesel Jones back inside the top 15 here as Chase Copeland there in that 15th position. Chase White there in 16th with Aaron Bowman and Tyler Brickford bringing up the rear of the field here in this one. So Brinkford goes from battling just inside the top 10 on the racetrack to now all of a sudden finding himself at the back of the pack and trying to play catch up here this afternoon as everyone trying to catch up and find a way to get around this 11 right at Ethan Johnson. As Johnson looking for the checkered flag here this afternoon, looking for the win and looking for the payday here this evening. But right there on his back bumper, Craig Wheeler having a great run here. Wheeler's been up inside the top 2, top 3 pretty much all evening long. Every time we see these drivers at the front of the field start to break away, the 11 right hangs right there with them. Some lead some laps early in this race, and now looking for a bit of a slide job there on the other 11 right. Luckily enough, no contact, but you can't be doing that too often, because that's going to kill a lot of your momentum. It's going to kill a lot of your speed, and that's going to bring the drivers back there behind you quickly to your rear bumper. If you do it too much, kicking that rear end out sideways like that, it's going to burn up that right rear tire and potentially make it even tougher for you here this afternoon. As out in front, Ethan Johnson, Craig Wheeler, Robbie Buchanan Jr. are top 3 out there on the racetrack. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you guys came here for a show. Well, here you go as these drivers put on a heck of a race and a heck of a battle for us here this afternoon. If you guys are enjoying this racing action and you guys want to help us out, make sure you guys hit that like button on the stream. Hit the like, hit that share, hit that follow and subscribe button. Become part of the Peacemaker family here this afternoon. Turn those bell notifications on, that way you never miss it when we go live here on Peacemaker Gaming, and that way you never miss a lap of Green Flag Racing here on the best broadcasting network in iRacing. As Robbie Buchanan Jr. going to slide back now into position number 4. A little bit of blinking there for the number 69 ride. Connor Johnson running into issues here. No caution flag as the 69. I'm not sure if he's got a flat tire or what may be wrong with this 69 ride, but he's blinking heavily out there on the racetrack. The 69 ride may be the first driver out of this race, now up into the outside fence. He's going to have to take that car down pit side. No caution flag. There it is. Caution flag on the racetrack is the 69. Running into a bunch of problems here. Unfortunately, it's tough. When a driver is blinking, having connection issues like he was, the drivers that are around you don't really have a choice on what they can do. Let's take a look right here. So you watch him blink, going right into the corner. He's still there, still there, still there. He's still blinking, but let's play it back just ever so slightly here. See if we can get another look at it. So if we take a look on board with, where is Josiah Johnson? Here's Johnson. You see that 69 ride appear, disappear, appear. He doesn't know where he is on the racetrack. You can see already there in the frames beforehand that he was starting to go a little sideways. He's on the front bumper of the 5B ride. He can't really tell. He can see it really quickly, but you can't really decipher whether or not you're turning this driver or if you're just, you know, seeing a glitch out there with him blinking. As you see him there, he's good, and then all of a sudden, oh, he's back and he's getting turned, and then all of a sudden he's gone on the racetrack, and there's not a whole lot you can do except for sit there and watch and hope to see. And you see him starting to blink even more down the bottom side. He's trying to get this car figured back out, pointed back in the right direction, and everyone else trying to roll around him here. They're trying to figure out where he's going or what's going on here. And then Diesel Jones, he's already sending it down low. He makes more contact there with him as he blinks up into the outside fence, and that's where his ride will come to an end right there, and potentially his afternoon may be over here in this one. So bad internet connection potentially taking that 69 ride of Connor Johnson out of an opportunity for a big payday here this afternoon, as we'll get all these drivers stacked back up, ready to go back to Green Flag Racing. Craig Wheeler, Ethan Johnson, 1 and 2 on the Speedway. Riley Knoll and Josiah Johnson there in 3rd and 4th as the green flag back out here in Eldora. Quickly, we see that green flag fly as we are about halfway in and halfway to go out there on the racetrack. So we still got a lot of racing left here this afternoon. So a lot of great racing here for these drivers as, yeah, we're just going to get rid of this guy. Yeah, all right, so out in front, some great racing action, a lot of back and forth. All these drivers starting to migrate a little bit more towards that outside groove, but we're going to see them really have to start mixing it up. We're going to see drivers back down low. I think they're going to be searching here, trying to find some speed, trying to find a line that they can find a little bit more gumption, a little bit more gusto out there on the racetrack to try and battle and find their way to the front of the field. As lap after lap after lap, we get closer and closer to the victory here this afternoon. The checkered flag just around the corner, and who will put themselves into the payday and victory lane here in Eldora Speedway. We're about to find out in just a few more moments as, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're going to jump into a quick Peacemaker Gaming Crank It Up. So crank up that volume and cheer on your favorite drivers as we crank it up here on Peacemaker Gaming. Caution flag on the racetrack. Yellow flag back out here onto the speedway. So midway through our Peacemaker Gaming Crank It Up, we do see that caution flag flag. So the Peacemaker Gaming Crank It Up caution curse will continue here this afternoon as we'll take a look back and see what brings out our yellow flag here this afternoon for the second time here in this one. And again, it looks like the 7H ride. Stephen Hart potentially getting collected here in this one. Hart up into the outside fence, heavy contact there for that 7H ride, and I do believe that's what will bring out our caution flag. Body panels, tires falling off of the 7H machine as he's trying to get it down pit road. Unfortunately, there goes the rest of our field. He's still out there on the racetrack. That's where we see that caution flag fly as he's going to take this car down pit side. There goes that right front tire. It is going to fall off of the race car as we take another look at it here and see what happens. As unfortunately for the 7H, a Stephen Hart up and into the outside fence down the back straightaway. Second time this afternoon we saw him get into the wall just like that, and unfortunately this one may have him a lap down and back there deep in the field. Potentially no more fast repairs for that number 7H ride, so we'll have to wait and see if he can work his way back onto the speedway. It does not look like it. Looks like he's taking that car back to the hauler, and they are going to try to do some more extensive repairs here, and that may be it for Stephen Hart this afternoon. As we will get ready to go back to green flag racing. Out in front, it's Cray Wheeler and Riley Knoll. 1 and 2 out there on the racetrack as we'll continue here with our Peacemaker Gaming Crank It Up. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, make sure you hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button, and let us know who you're cheering for in the comment section as we go back to green flag racing here at Eldora Speedway, and our Peacemaker Gaming Crank It Up will continue. Another crank it up caution flying curse is going to come out here. We will take a look back, and I do believe that will bring a close to our Peacemaker Gaming crank it up here this afternoon after a couple tough hits a little deeper in the field. A couple drivers getting tied up into it and potentially one of our championship hopefuls here tied up as well. Watch the 8 ride on the outside lane here. The Carolina Sim Sports number 8 machine of Colton Jordan. Looks like Colton potentially going to get tied up here in this one. Down into corner number 3. Contact between him and Diesel Jones. Puts the 8 ride up into the outside fence. Nowhere to go as the 22 machine. Oh, that's a tough break right there for the 22, as I do believe that may take him out of this race as Chase White heavy contact into it. Same with Josiah Johnson as Colton Jordan gets shoved up into the outside fence right there. Diesel Jones, unfortunately, just give him a bit of a tail tag there. They're door-to-door down and into corner number 3, and unfortunately, we just see this contact here. A bit of a tail tag right there. From the 46 right into the 8, it gets him tight, washes him up a little bit more into Colton Jordan. That's just going to get Jordan up and into the outside wall. Heavy contact right there, and as that right front gets shredded to pieces, he's slow on the speedway, nowhere to go, as there's the 22, he's going to slam into him, and then the 5B trying to get out of the way, unfortunately, could not avoid the side of Colton Jordan's ride, and he gets tied up in that one as well. Heavy damage there for the 22, the 8, and the 5 ride here in this one, as they're going to take their cars down pit side. They're all going to look to try to get their cars repaired. We do see Josiah Johnson back out there on the racetrack, same with Colton Jordan. Unfortunately for Chase White, maybe a little damage still on that 22 ride. We'll have to keep an eye out on it as we go back to green flag racing here at Eldora Speedway. Just under 40 laps of racing action left here this afternoon for each and every one of these drivers to try to put themselves up and into victory lane and looking for the checkered flag here this evening. Crossover slide jump starting to come out as here comes that number 10 ride. Connor New, how do you do? Working his way now to the front of the field. Is it time to go? Can you not hold back any longer as Connor New is starting to work his way, trying to battle to the front of the field and now into that second position as one more driver left the pass to put himself out in front. Cray Wheeler and Ethan Johnson battling back there for position number 3 as Robbie Balkin Jr. rolls there in position number 5. Diesel Jones, Evan Channel, Chase Copeland right there, as well as Ryder English in the 913 and Tanner Peak rounding out our top 10 here on the racetrack. Tyler Brickford, Aaron Bowman, Brent Walsh, Colton Jordan, Josiah Johnson, Chase White rounding out our top 16 here on the Speedway. Unfortunately, looks like Chase White has taken his car down pit side, so that is going to take Chase White out of this one as more contact here on the racetrack. Caution flag back out onto the Speedway. Caution flag coming back out here in this one. And again, more contact and damage for the 5 ride of Josiah Johnson, but we did see Colton Jordan get tied up in this one again. Watch that car crab walking down the back straightaway. Oh, brother, it is not supposed to turn like that, and unfortunately that heavy rear end damage here for Colton Jordan. The crew's going to have to do a lot of work to try to get that thing repaired here again on the Speedway. As we will take a look, we will see how this all got unfolded and how this all started here as Colton Jordan, I do believe it was a little in front of him with Evan Channel, as there you go. Evan Channel up on the high side. Looks like maybe a big move from Chase Copeland. Copeland down low, going to slide up the racetrack. The Midwest Sim Sports Majority Speed Shop ride going to slide into the side of that Cocky Floyd Consulting machine. Unfortunately, Evan Channel, nothing he can do. He's trying to hang on to it, trying to get that car pointed back in the right direction. The car snap hooks back around up into the outside fence. You do see Tyler Brickford. He's going to get in there. He's going to get a piece of that one. And then here comes Colton Jordan. Sideways slams in to the back end of the 11 ride, the 5 ride right there as well. He's going to get a good piece of him, help him back into the outside fence. Heavy damage there for a bunch of those drivers, and the 52 right there getting collected as well. So Brett Walsh has been trying to run a little bit of a different strategy here for a lot of this race, trying to keep himself a little deeper in the field and out of any of the accidents here. Unfortunately, gets tied up in this one. Pretty good damage right there for that 52 ride, as well as he also gets up into the outside fence after heavy contact. And a lot of tore up race cars. Do see the 8 ride trying to roll back out there onto the racetrack. Unfortunately for Colton Jordan, I don't know how long that car is going to survive. This thing is still crab walking down the straightaways. It's still not pointed in the right direction. No rear wing, and a lot of tore up corner panels on that number 8 right here this afternoon. As we go back to green flag racing, Riley Knoll out in front. A great slide job, but a great crossover there for the 10 right of Connor New, as New will slide right back in front of Ethan Johnson. Johnson will stay there in that third spot as here comes Robbie Bokkinen Jr. back to his rear bumper as the 11 of Crane Wheeler trying to hold on to that machine. Now he slides up into position number 5 as here comes Diesel Jones. Jones trying to roll that inside groove, almost a little contact right there. They do make a little bit of contact. The rubbing and scrubbing is starting here this afternoon as these drivers know that their opportunities to make some moves is running out of time, as they know that these laps are counting down in a quick hurry, and they got to be at the front of the field if they want a chance, if they want an opportunity to pick up the win here this evening. As you can see, that 913 ride of Tanner Peak and the 72 of Ryder English start to work their way up and through the traffic as Riley Knoll continues to lead the way. Knoll out in front, and this time by the start-finish line, we're going to see 73 laps out of 100 up and onto the board, and the caution flag will come back out. Caution flag back out onto the racetrack here. Riley Knoll continuing to lead the way. Let's take a look and see what brings out this yellow flag once again. Potentially Connor New, our second place driver, getting tied up in this one. So a big wreck right behind our race leader, Connor New. Ethan Johnson, door-to-door down into corner number 3. New up on the high side. Robbie Bokkinen slides up the racetrack, ends up making contact there with that 10 right, spinning Connor New around. Aaron Bowman's going to get a piece of him. We did see as the 110 of Chase Copeland also getting contact there as he gets up into the outside fence, but fortunately here, Connor New just trying to work his way up on the high side, looking for a big run down the racetrack, trying some different lines. Robbie Bokkinen, though, going for a slide job lane. Unfortunately, not expecting the 10 right to be there still, and ends up sliding into him, making that contact. Around goes Connor New, looking at everyone trying to get around him. That is Diesel Jones, who's going to get up into the outside fence right there, and unfortunately for Ryder English, pretty heavy contact into the front end of that 10 right, and then into the outside fence there himself, and then New, some pretty good rear end damage right there as Aaron Bowman and him bang off each other. So a bunch of tore up race cars again on the racetrack as Riley Knoll sitting in the potential best and safest place out there on the speedway, and that's at the front of the field. Ethan Johnson there in second with Robbie Bokkinen Jr., Diesel Jones, and now the 11 of Crane Wheeler in that 5th spot again on the speedway. Tanner Peak back there in 6th with Josiah Johnson, Tyler Brinkford, Brett Walsh, and the number, I do believe it is Evan Channel. No, the 110 ride of Chase Copeland rounding out our top 10 here on the racetrack. Then we see Aaron Bowman, Ryder English, Colton Jordan back here at the rear of the field as Colton continues to roll out there on the racetrack, but you continue to see that car crab walking out there on the racetrack as Chase White, Stephen Hart, Connor Johnson all out of this race as 3 of our 18 competitors have already called it a day here this afternoon. As the green flag back out onto the racetrack, Riley Knoll looking to continue to lead the way, continue to look to keep these drivers back there behind him as the 07 machine's been out in front for a lot of laps here this afternoon. But late in this race, as somebody has something left here for these drivers at the front of the pack. Do we see somebody from deeper in the field work their way up towards the front and make some moves and steal this win away from all these drivers inside our top 5 here on the racetrack, as we are going to see the caution flag come back out here once again with only 25 more laps left to go. So 25 more laps left here in this one, as we do see Colton Jordan and Connor New both take their cars back down pit road. We did see the 07 ride right here and up with some contact. I do believe the 10 ride, Connor New, potentially this time he's going to get off the track here. Car gets tight, washes up into the front end of the 07 of Tyler Brinkford. That puts Brinkford up and into the outside wall. Heavy damage there for him. And then you see Walsh and that 110 all over the back bumper there of Connor New. New trying to hang on to this 10 ride, and I'm not sure he may get up into the outside fences. I do believe he's going to scrub it right here, potentially getting some more damage for himself as taking that car back down pit road, trying to get some repairs done to it. And fortunately, though, Tyler Brinkford looking to try to be the hard charger on the afternoon. He's been up towards the front of the field a couple times. He's been working his way through the traffic easily here this evening. Now going to run into a problem of his own and will have to rejoin the rear of the field here in this one after getting that car repaired. Colton Jordan still down pit side, getting repairs done to his number 8 ride. You'll also see that 07, a Tyler Brickford. He's still down pit road trying to get that car repaired as well. As all these drivers get ready to go back to battle, they get ready to duke it out here once again as the lights are off. The official iRacing pace truck. We do see Colton Jordan rolling back out there onto the speedway. I don't know how much time he has for repairs, but I do believe it's gotta be an extended amount of repairs. But that car, it's starting to drive a little bit straighter, but it is still crab walking quite a bit down the back straightaway as we see the green flag come back out here for Riley Knoll. Knoll with the green flag back out into the air and looking to slide back up in front of Ethan Johnson. Johnson looking to cross back down low, looking for something underneath. Oh, that 07 ride can't quite find the run he was looking for. Now going to have to try to work his way back around the 07, looking for a run down on the bottom side here through corner number 1 as the 07 takes the outside wall ever so slightly, door to door, down through corner number 1 into contact down the back straightaway. Knoll did find a piece of the outside fence. Looks like that car is going to stay one good piece as they're 3 wide down across the line. 3 wide here at the front of the field as Riley Knoll goes for a big slide job as the caution flag does fly here once again. This time looks like Aaron Bowman going to run into issues, but we're going to have to figure out who was out in front at the time of the caution flag. Is watch the 44 ride. The ABR Star Race Cars machine, a little contact down through corner number 2 and down the back straightaway between him and the number 72, a Ryder English. Is English gonna get in there, gonna get a piece of him and wash that number 44 up the racetrack here. You see that contact really gonna get Aaron Bowman, the showman, bent out of shape, is right here. Gonna knock that car loose. Sliding through the slick stuff, trying to catch it, trying to keep it pointed the right direction. Unfortunately, going to get up into the wall. Then more contact as the 72 continues up the speedway. Going to get into him again and again and again down the backstretch. Pounces him back into the outside fence, and unfortunately, heavy right side damage there for Aaron Bowman. He'll get stopped here on the racetrack as up into that outside fence there in corner number 3. The whole right front tore to shreds, and that will be our caution flag once again here on the speedway. So we'll get them all ready to roll here once again as Bowman does rejoin the rear of the field after getting that car repaired and back out there onto the racetrack. And you see Colton Jordan still getting this car repaired here down pit side. Fortunately for the number 07 of Tyler Brickford, he's been down there for an extended period of time. Josiah Johnson also down and out of this race. So we've now lost 5 drivers back behind pit wall here this afternoon. Colton Jordan trying to keep this car alive there in the 13th position. Still on the lead lap miraculously. These caution flags are helping him out a ton as we go back to green flag racing. Quickly, the green flag back out into the air as we inch closer and closer to our checker flag here this afternoon. Only 23 more laps left to go. 22 the next time by the start-finish line. So we are about 80% of the way through this feature event here this afternoon. You can see that this racetrack is really taking form. Obviously, the outside lane proven to be the fastest way around right now, but a lot of these drivers having to run some different lines. A little bit of a slide job lane here and there, a little bit of an outside cushion through 1 and 2, and there's still quite a little bit of gap down there on the bottom side. We'll have to wait and see if any of these drivers try and tempt their fate on the bottom side of the racetrack here, trying to find that extra speed this afternoon. As this time by the start-finish line, we see the caution flag come back out with 20 more laps left to go in this feature event. So 20 laps left here in this A main feature event. Unfortunately, this time Ryder English looks like he's going to run into issues here as the 72 ride. I think he's going to find the outside fence right there. Everyone able to squeeze on by him as Ryder hard up into the outside wall. He's going to get stopped here on the front straightaway and right in front of our flagman. An easy call there. He'll call that caution flag as the rest of the field about to roll up in front of him here in a quick hurry. There they go in the top left. See them going by our number 72 machine. He's trying to get this car pointed in the right direction. Obviously, right front tore up here again. So those right fronts continue to cause issues for a lot of these drivers. Let's see if there was any contact down the back straightaway here, or if you know, maybe he just got into the wall himself. But does look like potentially he gets a big run here on Evan Channel. Having to try to get checked up, gets a piece of him. Tanner Peak gets a piece of the 72, and I think just that little initial contact into the outside fence, busts something there. For Ryder English, and unfortunately for the Wall Rider photography machine, he gets a little too close for comfort there into the outside fence, and you'll have to take that car down pit side, try to get that thing repaired. You'll see Cray Wheeler having to take his car down pit side. He got some repairs done as well for the number 11, so he'll rejoin the rear of the field as well with Ryder English here in this one. As driver's going to get stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to green flag racing. Colton Jordan continued to try to keep himself in this one. Same with Evan Channel, but it does look like Evan Channel is taking his car down and off of the racetrack. So Channel is unfortunately now out of this race as well. So we started with 18 drivers. We've now lost 6 competitors. We're down to 12 out there on the racetrack. 18 to 12 as we go back to green flag racing. And sometimes these 100-lap feature events, they're a lot about duration and how long you can survive, how long you can keep yourself out of trouble and keep your car pointed in the right direction and not having to go down pit side for a lot of repairs, and to be able to keep yourself in contention here all evening long. It's a survival of the fittest most of the time here with these 100-lap feature events, and Riley Knoll doing a great job of it all evening long, keeping that car in one good shape out there on the racetrack and still at the front of the field. Ethan Johnson there in second as Diesel Jones now works himself up into position number 3 as Chase Copeland there in 4th, and Robbie Bachman Jr. trying to hold on to that 5th position as Chase Copeland trying to work his way around him. Bit of a slide job crossover there to the 110 as he works back down low on Robbie Bachman Jr. for that now 4th position on the racetrack as these two continue to battle out here on the Speedway. Brett Walsh right there in position number 6. He's on the outside of the top 5 looking in. Same with Tanner Peak as the Peakinator rolls back there in position number 7. You do see Craig Wheeler trying to work his way back up through the field. Same with Ryder English and Aaron Bowman as Bowman now rounds out our top 10 here on the racetrack. Colton Jordan back there in position number 11 as Connor New has taken his car, unfortunately now down a couple laps here on the racetrack as he had to go down pit side during the green flag laps right here, and he takes that car down pit road and unfortunately now finds himself a lap down, but the first car a lap down out there on the Speedway, and for the 10 ride potentially out of this feature event. As out in front, it's a battle here for the race lead. A 3-car fight, nose to tail out there on the racetrack. It's anybody's game as they play cat and mouse and bumper tag here this afternoon. It's Riley Knoll, Ethan Johnson, and Diesel Jones, our top 3 drivers out there on the racetrack, as they got about 2.5 seconds now between themselves and our 4th place driver, Robbie Bachman Jr. Chase Copeland there in 5th, but our battle at the front of the field continues to rage on as these drivers looking to try to earn themselves an extra payday here at Eldora Speedway for the Velocity Racing League Series Finale here this afternoon. The series finale, and it's anybody's game and it's anybody's money up for grabs here this afternoon as they're looking to try to pick up the checkered flag and earn the payday, the mini door, and all the bragging rights here this afternoon. Is down across the line. We see 10 more laps left to go. 10 more laps left here for the 0-7 of Riley Knoll as Knoll continues to lead the way. Ethan Johnson back there in second with Diesel Jones in position number 3. You just saw Johnson get up into the outside fence ever so slightly. Doesn't look like too much rear end damage there for that 11 ride. He's able to keep that car rolling there on the racetrack as he's trying to stay glued to the back bumper of that 0-7 ride. Unfortunately, starting to make some more mistakes, and it's opening up the door now for that 46 ride of Diesel Jones to try to jump up and take position number 2 away from him. Now that's exactly what Riley Knoll wants to see. He wants to see those two duke it out back there for position number 2 and allow him to try to run away with the checkered flag here this evening. As Riley Knoll out in front, down across the line, will click off another lap. Only 7 more to go here in this A main feature event. Already 92 laps down, and we got 7 laps left to go. 93 laps down, 7 more to go. 6 more this time by the start-finish line as they're battling now for that second position. Diesel Jones, he wants to take it away from Ethan Johnson. Johnson does not want to give it up as they continue to exchange slide jumps and crossovers back here for position number 2. That's allowing the 0-7 rider Riley Noel to continue to pull away from both of them, as Noel just watching these two, hoping to see them continue to battle like that for the next 5 laps, where he can try to pick up the big checkered flag in the payday here this afternoon. A big gap still between our 3rd and 4th place drivers, is blocking him back there in 4th. Craig Wheeler finds himself in position number 5. Tanner Peak there in 6th with Ryder English. Aaron Bowman, Colton Jordan, Connor New, our top 10 here on the racetrack. Tyler Brickford, Chase Copeland, Brett Walsh, Evan Channel, Josiah Johnson, Chase White, Stephen Hart, and Connor Johnson round out our field here this afternoon. But with only a few more laps left to go, it's Riley Knoll out in front. Knoll continues to lead the way, 0.7 of a second. This time by the start-finish line with only 2 more laps left to go here from Eldora Speedway, as Riley Knoll leads us down the back straightaway once again here this afternoon. This time, though, out of corner number 4, he'll be looking for the white flag as one more time around here in the Velocity Racing League Series finale from Eldora Speedway. A 100-lap feature event, and it's the 07 of Riley Knoll who leads them down the back straightaway for the final time, down through 3, and out of 4, it's Riley Knoll who will pick up the checkered flag in the win in our series finale here this afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up from the Majula Safe Speed Shop, East Coast Sim Sports Team CFM Esports, number 07. That is Riley Knoll picking up the checkered flag and pulling his 07 up into the Eldora Speedway victory lane here this afternoon. As Diesel Jones there in second. Jones will come home in that second position. Ethan Johnson will come home in position number 3 here this evening. But it's Riley Knoll who gets the job done and pulls himself on now with a damaged race car, as he ran into a bunch of four-wheelers down there, now into the fence. I don't know if he's going to be able to get this car into victory lane or not. This thing has been pretty sore right here, but here he goes. He's going to go up onto the scales. Car's going to be a little light there. Now missing a lot of body panels, but we're not going to worry about that. He'll pull it right into victory lane. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up for the number 07 of Riley Knoll, as Riley picks up the win and pulls that car into the Eldora Speedway victory lane. We'll get ready to pull our top 3 up and into the broadcast booth here for some post-race interviews. So we need our top 3 into the race, into the Drake waiting room here in the Discord, and we will pull our top 3 in for some post-race interviews this afternoon. As, man, what a run, what a drive, and what a performance by each and every one of these drivers here this afternoon, man. That was a lot of fun, a lot of laps, a lot of beating and banging, a lot of battling out there on the racetrack, and 100 laps of racing action here this afternoon for the season finale of the Velocity Racing League, man. What a run, what a drive, and what a show all evening long, as we'll get ready to pull our race winner, Riley Knoll, up and into the broadcast booth. Hey, Riley, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Did you get a copy?
Yes, sir.
Riley, man, what a run, what a race, man. Take us back through this one, as we saw you lead some laps early in this race, and you fell back a little bit there through the midpoint, maybe just trying to, save a little bit of that car for late in this race, and looks like it worked out perfectly for you, as late in this one you're able to jump back out in front. Even with all those caution flags, you're able to hold the rest of these drivers back there at bay, and as Diesel Jones and Ethan Johnson start battling for position number 2, you're able to just pull away and pull that number 07 up and into victory lane, man. Take us back through this race, and what's going through your mind as you're able to pick up the win here this evening?
Yes, sir. There at the beginning, I was just mainly just focusing on saving them tires there. I just didn't want to burn my stuff up at the beginning and not be there at the end. So I was just there, just pacing around. I know I was there leading. I was just rolling bottom at the beginning for about 15, 20 laps, and I seen Diesel Jones, and I think it was Craig Wheeler went around me in the mid. So I got up, followed them for a little bit, and then I seen a chance to get around Ethan Johnson there, and I kind of hit the cushion off of 4, slinged by him, and then we got, I don't know how many cautions, and then I passed their Craig Wheeler, and then it was a good race, and just set sail from there.
Absolutely, but some of those late race caution flags had to have you feeling a little bit nervous there with so many great talented drivers right on your back bumper looking to try to take this win and the payday away from you here this evening. What was going through your mind there in some of those late race caution flags?
I kind of get nervous because I know Ethan Johnson. He's hell of a wheel man, so it's just trying to hold him off there and trying to focus on my own race and not block him too much and mess myself out of a win. But I mean, yeah, the nerves were kicking there. It was getting hectic, and with all them cautions, it was making it even worse on myself. And I was just trying to stay consistent on hitting top, and yeah, just held
Keeping
him
that
off.
car out of trouble out there on the racetrack definitely was a tall task here this afternoon. Obviously, that outside wall and these late models, they do not get along, as we saw a lot of tore up right fronts here this afternoon. But Riley, take us through some of these track changes here this afternoon. It seemed like it was definitely a very racy racetrack there, and then obviously 100 laps, 18 drivers out there, and all those heat races and consolation races. It's going to get slicked off no matter what you do, but a great racing surface here for the first 40, 50 laps of this feature event until it started to get a little slicker and a little bit more top dominant out there on the racetrack. How did you have to handle kind of how the track was changing here this evening?
Well, I knew eventually I'd get up to the top, and warm up there. I was just searching around. There was a lot of marbles up top, so I was just figured it was bottom at the beginning until that got slicking off, until all the marbles got thrown up there into the middle, and then that's where the line went. So I was just trying to watch cars, trying to judge where to go there, and it paid off.
Absolutely, definitely pays off for you here this afternoon as you park it up in victory lane for the series finale here for the Velocity Racing League here with a 100-lap feature event at Eldora Speedway. Money on the line, some prizes there as well. Riley, who would you like to thank for such a great run and strong performance here this afternoon as you're able to pick up this series finale and the big win here at Eldora?
Yes, sir. I'd like to thank everybody at East Coast Sim Sports, Majula Say Speed Shop, Elite Graphics, Machine Gun Shots. I'd also like to thank Smith's Outdoors and everyone that helped put this on and make this thing go right.
Absolutely, brother. Well, Riley, a great win, a great drive here this afternoon. Congratulations on picking up the checkered flag. Now, we probably won't see it back up here as not a whole lot of broadcasts going on for the rest of the week. Obviously, holidays right now around the corner, so hopefully, we'll see it back out there on the racetrack maybe for another season of the Velocity Racing League and back in here having some fun on Peacemaker Gaming and hopefully more checkered flags for you in 2025. But if we don't see you before 2025, we want to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a happy holidays and a safe holidays there for yourself and your entire family. And another huge congratulations on picking up the checkered flag here this afternoon.
Yes, sir. Thank you. You as well. Have a good holiday. I'm sure I'll be back sometime.
Absolutely, brother. Well, we look forward to it, and we look forward to seeing you back up here in the broadcast booth and maybe right back up here in Victory Lane for 2025 and picking up some more big dubs here in iRacing. Riley, congratulations again on the checkered flag here this afternoon, and we can't wait to see you back out there in the next one.
Thank you.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our race winner, Riley Knoll, as Riley picks up the checkered flag here this afternoon. A great run and a great drive there for that 07 machine here this afternoon. As we'll get ready to pull in our second place finisher, the 46 rider, Diesel Jones. Diesel coming home in that second spot. Let's pull him up here into the broadcast booth. Hey, Diesel, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker broadcasting booth. Taking a copy?
Yes, sir.
Diesel, man, another solid run, another great performance for you as we saw you up there towards the front of the field for a little bit of this race, and then midway through you slid back mid-pack, and then slowly but surely you start creeping your way back up through the field, trying to dodge a lot of those caution flags, some of the chaos that was out there on the racetrack there, but for the middle portion of this feature event, and then all of a sudden you're right there battling with Ethan Johnson, throw-in slide jobs, crossovers there, battling for position number 2, knowing that maybe you got a little bit faster car than that 11 ride, and trying to pick up the checkered flag. Unfortunately, by the time you get around Ethan, you have nowhere to go, and you don't have enough time to hunt down that 07 Riley Knoll here this afternoon as you pull it up onto the podium in position number 2. Take us back through this race and what's going through your mind right now as you sit here in that second spot.
Yeah, that some Connor dude or whatever was just pushing it really early, and then went to the bottom in front of me and Cray, I think it was, and just took off my nose, so I had to pit for the next caution or whatever we had, and then I went to the back, and we were just working our way forward, and then somehow he blinks and wrecks again and takes my nose off again, so I had to pit again, and it was like lap 50. I knew I had a really good car because I saved more than like anybody did. And then when I got back up there, like lap 80, I think it was, I got behind Ethan. I just couldn't get Ethan out of the way. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, unfortunately, just could not get around Ethan Johnson quick enough to really give yourself a good opportunity there at that 07 ride of Riley Knoll. Do you think if you were able to make that pass, maybe with 10 laps, 5 laps left to go, that you would have had something left in the tank there for that 07 ride? Do you think you would have been able to try to battle and slide him there and maybe take this win away from Riley here this afternoon?
Yeah, I honestly think I had the fastest car because like I hit my fastest lap on literally lap 84. So I'm like everybody was just held like Mary in the top the whole race. Riley and Ethan were, and then when I got up there, I just felt like I was way faster than all of them. But Ethan was just in the way, basically. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, take us back through some of this racing action. We saw the racetrack obviously go through quite a bit of changes here in this feature event, and obviously trying to keep your car under control, but also trying to keep some of that track position. How do you attack and strategize for a race like this here at Eldora Speedway for a 100-lap feature event?
Really, just the spring fling helped me out a lot being at Eldora. So like I already had a setup that I knew I was pretty comfortable with, and just saving tires too. But like it helped me a lot just staying on the bottom for like the first 40 laps, and Ethan and all them had to come from the back just on the top. And Riley, like I saw him in like the warm up, he was just had a setup for the top, so I figured that's where he'd be. And yeah, that's how it went.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, 100 laps and all those heat races and consolation races and everything else, it wasn't going to be long there in that feature event until that high side became dominant here this afternoon, and unfortunately couldn't quite make as many moves as you were hoping for, as I know you wanted to make one more late in this race to try to take that win away from Riley here this afternoon, but you settled in for a solid second place finish here this afternoon, keeping a bunch of very good drivers still back there behind you. Diesel, who'd you like to thank for a great running, great performance here this afternoon?
I got to thank Colton Jordan for paying my entry. Really wasn't going to run this, and he just told me he had to go run it. And I was like, okay, sign me up. So yeah, I guess I got to thank whoever put this on. I don't even know who put it on, to be honest. I think Carolina Sim Sports, Free Speed, Speed Ranch, CFM, all of them. Yeah, that's about it.
Beauty. Well, Diesel, a great run, a great drive here in this one, brother. And if I don't see you back in here, before the end of the year, I want to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays and a safe holidays for you and your family. And we can't wait to see you back out there on the racetrack in potentially 2025 or maybe before the New Year's gets underway.
Yeah, they're.
Beauty. Diesel, enjoy the rest of your afternoon and congratulations again on the second place finish.
Thank you.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our second place finisher, Diesel Jones. Diesel coming home in position number 2. A very solid run, a very solid drive there for the number 46 right here this afternoon. Now we are going to get ready to pull in our third place finisher, Ethan Johnson, but I think it might be his nap time. It may be his bedtime. I don't know where he went to. He's no longer in the Discord here. We'll have to wait and see if we can get Ethan up here into the booth or not. We'll have to wait and see. And then, not too sure. I haven't really gotten any updates on potentially our champion or not. I do believe, the way that the points were looking up, I do believe it's not Colton Jordan. I do believe it's Connor New who picked up the championship, but I don't see Connor in the Discord at all either. So, unfortunately, we're running slim here on drivers to interview this afternoon, as a lot of them have already dipped out. Obviously, a long night, a lot of laps, a lot of back and forth out there on the racetrack. So, I guess we're just going to do the top two here, as I still don't see Ethan Johnson in here, but we'll get some shout-outs here for Ethan as Mr. Johnson. Another solid run, another solid drive here this afternoon. The Majula Speed Shop, number 11 machine, hooked up and battling up. Actually, I don't think it's Majula Speed Shop he's with anymore. I do believe it was the Conky Floyd Consulting. Number 11 rider Ethan Johnson here this afternoon, able to work his way up and into position number 3. I could get that wrong, but huge shout out there for Ethan coming home in that 3rd position here this evening, having himself a great drive and a great day here this afternoon. Now we got to say one more huge thank you here to all of our amazing sponsors throughout this season that are part of our Peacemaker family and part of the Velocity Racing League here this year, as these amazing sponsors came together, made this happen here, as the Magic of Kentuckiana. Hopefully I'm saying that right. The Magic of Kentuckiana coming in, a major sponsor here this evening and for all season long here with the Velocity Racing League. We got to give them a huge shout out. We got to give a huge shout out as well to Fansler iRacing Graphics. The graphics and wraps there that Ryan Fansler does are absolutely killer. They are absolutely amazing paint schemes. We see a lot of them out there on the racetrack week after week after week, and looking not only as fast as they are slick out there on the speedway. You shouted as well to Smith Outdoors and also to the East Coast Sim Sports coming on board, making tonight possible and becoming part of the Velocity Racing League sponsors here this year. Is a huge shout out to all of our amazing sponsors and everyone that makes this series possible. Now, another good shout out here to each and every one of the drivers, all these drivers throughout the season who came in, showed up week after week after week, and all of them that came in and made this season as fun as it was and as amazing as it was. We can't wait and hope to see these drivers jump out there for season number 2 of the Velocity Racing League. Hopefully we'll see these guys back in action and battling again out there on the speedway come the new year. And then we got to thank each and every one of the fans in the stands, everyone that comes in, shows the love week after week after week, showing all the love with the likes, the comments, the shares, man. I appreciate each and every single one of you for tuning in and showing the love, not only, for all your favorite drivers, but for all the drivers and all the amazing fans in the stands and for all the amazing sponsors we have here. We appreciate everyone tuning in and showing the love race after race after race. Unfortunately, that will do it for us here this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I cannot thank you guys enough for tuning in. Anyone coming in with the likes, the comments, the shares here this afternoon, I appreciate each and every single one of you. Any of the new followers or subscribers here on Peacemaker Gaming, I welcome you again to the Peacemaker family. And if you haven't already, make sure you guys do that. Hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button, become part of the Peacemaker family today, and make sure you hit that bell notification on. That way you never miss it when we go green flag racing here on Peacemaker Gaming, as you don't want to miss a single lap of the racing action here on the channel. So unfortunately, that will do it for us here this evening. I will see you guys back in here probably tomorrow for a little something different. I don't know what we're going to get going on. We don't really have much planned for tomorrow afternoon, so we'll try to get something going. We'll try to get something brewing and see if we can put on another amazing, spectacular show for each and every one of you to enjoy. Unfortunately, that will do it for us here today. I'll see y'all back here tomorrow. Peace out for now, baby. Peace out for now, ladies and gentlemen.
Pounding engines, roar dust in the air, chasing dreams in the night without a care. Steel beats follow down, driven that track. Velocity racing, don't look back. Don't look back. Don't look back. Sweat and grease fill the edge of the fight. Headlights slice through a moonless night. Elbows out, ready for the clash. Every twist, every turn, adrenaline flash. In the dirt where legends are made, speed and danger never fade. Racing hearts in the leads of steel, velocity keeps it real. In the dirt where legends are made, speed and danger never fade. Racing hearts in the leads of steel, velocity keeps it real. real. In the dirt where legends are made, speed and danger never fade. Racing hearts in the leagues of steel, velocity keeps it real. Don't look back. Don't look back. Don't look back. Don't look back. Heart-pounding engines roar, dust in the air, chasing dreams in the night without a care. Steel beats follow down, gripping that track, velocity racing, don't look back. Don't look back. Don't look back. Sweat and grease fill the edge of the fight, headlights slice through a moonless night. Elbows out, ready for the clash. Every twist, every turn, adrenaline flash. In the dirt where legends are made, speed and danger never fade. Racing hearts in the leagues of steel, velocity keeps it real. In the dirt where legends are made, speed and danger never fade. Racing hearts in the leagues of steel, velocity keeps it real. Don't look back. Don't look back. Spectators scream as the racers align. A dance with danger on a thin white line. High octane in the veins, rush of thrill. Competing with fate, chasing that mill. Pretty warriors that think of the grind. Fierce and focused, always one of a kind. Victory tastes sweeter under the lights. Velocity racing, fueled by the fright. In the dirt where legends are made, speed and danger never fade. Racing hearts in the leagues of steel, velocity keeps it real. Where legends are made, speed and danger never fade. Racing hearts in the leagues of steel, velocity keeps it real. In the dirt where legends are made, speed and danger never fade. Racing hearts in the leagues of steel, velocity keeps it real. Don't look back. Don't look back. Don't look back.